Protestors and Trump. What does that mean to us as Mgtow? Well, I don't think Trump's going to help Mgtow in any real big sense, but I do think that the protests are. I really do, because if you look at what these radical, crazy feminists are doing and saying, they can't do anything but help rile them up against men. Everywhere, men. And when women get riled up, right, the penis hating starts. They start off with their ranting and bullshit. And men are just going to say, fuck you. Welcome to Mgtow's Freedom. I'm John, the host of the show. Right, the star of the show. That guy that appears and always talks a little bit. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for thumb upping. Thank you for everything, especially and most of all your comments. Your comments is what makes this channel really good. Anyways, moving on to the subject, right? I went to the biggest little city in the world yesterday for a good time, Reno, Nevada, and walked around a bit, and there was a big old protest going on in some kind of city square there. And there were bitches with pink hats, and I thought, oh man, I know what this is, right? I know what this is all about. People with cardboard signs. And, you know, I hate to be a sucker for slick marketing and fancy advertising and high dollar mind control, but when I see someone that has a cardboard sign that's written on with either some paint or a big fat felt marker, I go, you know, geez, I never thought of it that way, but until I saw it on a piece of cardboard stuck on a stick, I just never thought I could believe it. You know, really, until I saw a group of 20 chanting whores, I never really gave that idea much consideration. But now that I've seen that, now that they've chanted ridiculous ideas again and again and again, I get it now. All of a sudden I see the light. No one fucking does that. Everyone sees these feminist whores, protesters in general, as just loud, annoying idiots. Politicians are the same way. They don't see what's going on and go, oh yeah, now I get it. That cardboard sign with all the misspelled words on it, being held by that really ugly chick with a mustache. Yeah, I'm gonna change my position politically. You know, I think protests are largely in place just to give people something to do so they actually stay out of the legitimate political process. It's just incredible. But what I think is that Mgtow, right, is going to grow, not because of Trump, but because of the protests. These protesters are morons. They say the dumbest shit. I went to get a bite to eat and a drink along a little restaurant on the river there in Reno. And there was some bitch with a pink hat at the bar with her mangina. And she had the fucking temerity to walk out and glare at me. And I thought, you know, that just made me want to bitch slap her. I was not happy to see her. You know, I don't give a fuck what her cause is. But all it did was turn me off even more. Every time I see one of these scowling whores, it's a fucking turnoff. It turns me out. What cracks me up is you'll hear these dumb bitches go, well, good, because we don't want you men anyway. And it's like, well, that's perfect. Everybody wins. And I keep all of my money, my time, and my sanity. But let's not talk about me. Let's talk about non-Mgtow men. When they start hearing all of this chanting, you know, Trump this and Trump that, and not my president, and we hate men, and penises are evil and they should be cut off, whatever their chanting is, right? Or all of the loud discussion about their vaginas. You know, men, we can talk about our balls, right? But I don't want to hear a woman talk about her fucking goo crack. I don't want to fucking hear it. My idea of a woman is not someone who talks about her reproductive organs. I don't want to fucking hear it. Not from a woman. not about a woman. But that's what women are now. They're trying to be men with girl parts. And it's not just unattractive, it's repulsive. And these women, these feminist whores that are doing these protests, I have a feeling that when regular men see them, even not just purple pillars, but blue pillars, it turns them off more and more. It turns their stomach and turns them away. They probably will go looking, if they're intelligent or half intelligent, start looking for an alternative. They're like, well, if the protest is against men, is there anything out there that is for men? That's what I would do. I would go, what's the alternative view here? You know, they're protesting against Trump, but there's something about him they don't like. It's his manliness, right? He's got fortitude. And I wouldn't put it past men, you know, that have brains and think at least a little bit, to run into Mgtow. And I really think that Mgtow men should go to these protests with their own signs and man, be as creative as possible. If I really wanted a sign. I wanted to go have a sign that said something about feminists. I didn't really even give it a thought because I wasn't there to protest or to anti-protest. I was there just to have a good time in Reno. But I thought, wouldn't it be great if someone fucking crashed that and photobombed them and did a bunch of other fun things, but basically pointing out how stupid they are. At the same time, I don't really think it's worth a man's time. You can't, as much as they can't convince us, men, to change our minds about being men, right? There won't be one Mgtow man that'll change his mind about being Mgtow after seeing them. I don't think there's one man, the greatest Mgtow of them all, that could walk in there and convert those women back to being docile housewife types. They're ruined. They're spoiled. And I think that's, what do you guys think? Once a woman is gone feminist, gone rogue, and gone to a protest, that she can't be turned back. Do you believe that? You know, is that just the way it is? I really think it is. They're ruined for life. They can't grow back what they never had. They can't unlearn that type of shit. You know, they were protesting a lot more than just men. It was Trump's his immigration policies and some other stuff, and they were talking about how ashamed they were to be Americans. We're ashamed to be Americans, these feminists said, because of Trump. I'm thinking, you should be ashamed of being yourselves. Look at you. Look at the way you sound. You're fools. And they did this on a, they do this, what, all weekend? I don't understand. It doesn't even get, it didn't get 5 to 10 seconds on the news even. I mean, are they hoping to recruit more people? I mean, what the fuck is the purpose? The only good I see coming out of it is that men are going to see what loathsome scoundrels they are. You know, what disgusting intellectual degenerates they are. You know, they're vacant mentally. They're stupid. And I think they're going to direct men to go look for alternatives, right? What is the masculine response to this? Is what the mind should say. Anytime I see those women, I go, what's the opposite response to this? Because that's probably the one I need to have. Seriously. I mean, have you ever gone to a protest and said, yeah, I get it, right? Or do you go, what's the opposite of this? Let me compare them and see which one makes more sense. I'm going to think about this for a few minutes. Oh, man. What a joke and a sham, though, watching these knuckleheads. And they were just standing there milling around in circles, putting their sticks up and down. Just really stupid stuff. And I didn't see any politicians come out and glad hand them. I didn't see any of that, but I wasn't really looking. I just moved on eventually. Just gave them a couple of minutes just to take in the sight. Oh, it's crazy shit. All right, enough of that. You guys have a great day. When you see protests, what does it make you think? What do you think it's going to do to the average Joe when he sees that shit? the average simp, right? Just the regular guy who's not paying attention to anything. He's just going along, playing along with the social paradigm of gynocentrism. I think it's going to affect him in a way that the feminists don't really want. And that's good. That's good. All right, guys, Semper Fi. I have the penis.